Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video, let's have a relook at this Nothing Phone 1 now. Let's say after 6 months, how is it? Because if you recall guys, in the first week of August, I had actually done the in-depth review of this one. I'll leave the link. And during that time, the update that it got was not good. Hence, I said that because of the software issues, I would rate it 6 out of 10. Else, it was actually very good when it came out. But now, many of you have told me that Ranjit, many of the issues that he had mentioned in the original review have been fixed. In fact, the performance of the phone has improved quite a bit. In fact, I had also recommended to one of my cousins. She also has got it. Apart from one issue, she said that it's a very good phone. And many of you have been telling that I need to relook at this one. And just about a couple of weeks ago, they also were inviting for the beta testing, that is Android 13. So I had enrolled in that. So I had enrolled in the beta testing, but I also thought, let me test this device. So what I did is that from about December 10th onwards, I had put my primary SIM in this, updated it to the latest update. So what I'll do is the first part of the video is prior to the Android 13 beta update, and the later part will be that. So I did it updated, and some of the improvements that I found, in fact, most of the bugs that I have mentioned were fixed. In fact, I was surprised. I have made some notes. I was surprised that the camera performance on this smartphone had improved a lot, I would say, and that was actually a very nice move because I didn't expect that to happen. And as you can see, these are some of the casual samples that I took. Yes, in daylight it performed very well, but I was surprised to see that even in night conditions, it was actually performing very well. In dull lighting and mixed lighting also it did. So definitely they did work on the camera performance, and the camera has improved by leaps and bounds. Another issue that I had was the proximity sensor issue I had mentioned. Yes, that got reduced a little bit. This is again, I'm talking about the December update prior to the Android 13, but that was still actually there. A little bit of proximity issues I was facing about 30% of the time, so that was still there, but some of the other bugs that I had mentioned earlier were actually fixed. The battery life was still actually pretty good, I would say, not an issue. Using with my primary SIM, after that December update, I also started getting the 5G signal on this one. So the 5G bands and all those things, that OT update has been enabled. So again, it was a good update. But on 15 December, I got the Android beta, that's Android 13 update on this one. In fact, I tweeted about that also, and I was a little bit skeptical, but glad I applied that update, because I have to say, after this Android 13 update, again guys, this is still a beta. The final release, nothing said that sometime in 2023 first quarter will come. So we don't know, sometime January, February it might come. But I've been still using it with the Android 13 beta update. Let me actually show you. And it's been actually rock solid. I thought the situation would be bad. Now it's been almost 7 days since I've actually using it. And my primary SIM is still in this. And in fact, it has improved quite a few things. The first immediate thing that I noticed is that I always kept this phone at 120 Hertz refresh rate, and this is not just for this one. Even with the Moto X30 that had the Snapdragon 778, even at 120 Hertz, the fluidity was not as good as some of the flagships that were at 120 Hertz. This is the Pixel 7 Pro, and I felt, okay, that might be the case with the chipset 778. I'm comparing it with flagships. But after this Android 13 update, even on this Nothing phone, if you applied that update, you will definitely notice that it's become super fluid. Now 120 Hertz is as smooth as the Pixel smartphone that I have. So that's actually a very good move, I would say. So they have really worked on the software and optimized the core of the smartphone, and that shows. And I've noticed some small tweaks also in software, the improvements. For example, the weather app, they have made efforts to actually make it a lot better. As you can see, you get these animations and all that stuff. Let me adjust the brightness a little bit, as you can see. So again, stuff like this, they have improved here and there. So these are some small additions, and again, they're small minute animations that they have done that makes the whole experience of using the phone a lot better, not way more fluid, I have to say. So that way I like it, and the phone has been stable. Let me actually show you. Let me just go here again guys, this is the beta. So again, as you can see, Android 13, that we are having, and the phone has been very stable. After I applied that update in the last 7 days, I didn't have any problem. In fact, the note said that GPay might not work, but I did use GPay just 2 days ago, and then also it worked fine. So it has been actually very, very stable. In fact, this beta update is a lot better than many of the earlier updates I feel that the smartphone got. In fact, it also improved on a few things. For example, from standby, as I've told you, yeah, this will go off after some time, but the moment you click this button, the screen lights up immediately. So there was that minor delay that's gone. Also, the phone feels a lot more, what do you say, fluid. And one problem that I was actually having, that is the proximity sensor issue, I would say has been now solved almost 90% of that. Still, sometimes it happens on very, very long calls, but it's a lot reduced now after this Android 13 beta update that I got. In fact, I think so that will be should be completely solved after some time, because I also had that same proximity sensor issue even on this Pixel 7 Pro, though it came with the Android 13, but just the last OTA update that I got in December solved the proximity sensor issue. So I'm hopeful that the next final release of this Android 13, when they do, they should be able to actually completely solve the proximity issue. And if that's the case, it's going to be very, very good. So overall, I would say I liked the phone now, what it is. It feels a lot more polished, and again, it feels way, way, way smoother, I would say, in operations, and comparable to actually flagships now with that 120 hertz display. Even though this is a beta, I'm still getting pretty good battery life on this one, so battery life is not an issue. Heating was not there. Another thing I completely forgot is that I'm very happy with the Nothing team, and if they're listening, they haven't added any bloatware or anything with updates. So I'm very, very happy about this. But generally what we are seeing, some of the brands with OT updates are adding bloatware and junk. That was not the case with this one. So we still have that clean sort of experience, I would say, very close to stock Android, apart from some minor modifications. For example, this app, weather app and stuff like that they have done. So overall, I would say this smartphone has definitely become a lot better compared to what when I had reviewed in August. So that way I actually like what they are doing. In fact, I have actually written down the summary, so let me actually read it. And now also the pricing also has come down a little bit. I would say it's sold via Flipkart, and currently it is at about 30,000, but I've seen it come down to about 29 or something with offers. So let me actually, if I have to rate it now, how would I rate it? If I have to rate the smartphone now with the Android 13 beta, this is not the final release, guys, this is the beta. With this one, I would give it a very high rating of 8.8 out of 10. And if with the final Android 13 release, they can completely solve the proximity sensor issue, then it's a solid 9+ for me, because this smartphone gets a lot of things right in this price segment. Okay, now let me actually read down the summary that I have written about this one. Okay, I feel software optimization is the key to get a good experience in any smartphone. It's not just about the hardware specs and the number games that we are all obsessed with. Because I test so many smartphones with good hardware but poorly optimized software. It's all about how well you can take advantage of the hardware that is present on a particular smartphone. It's good to see that Nothing is now paying attention to the software. I'm glad that Nothing didn't get into the bandwagon of launching ton of new smartphones and now is paying attention to the existing Nothing Phone 1 and improving it with software updates. So that's my opinion of the Nothing Phone 1 with this Android 13 beta update. Certainly feels like a fresh coat and feels a lot more polished product now. I just hope they quickly release the final, Android 13 update release to public. So they haven't given a specific date. They just mentioned first quarter of 2023. I hope it comes down quickly. And if you have been actually using this Android 13 beta update on the Nothing Phone 1, what's your experience? Would love to know about that in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.